Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. Blak and Dr. BItchcraft.
With claws know me.
Our evil hench kitty.
Yeah, look how fucking evil.
Oh, yeah, totally. So, anyway, we're here for more than just petting the cat on camera.
Kissing the cat, too.
We're kissing cats. We are going to talk about the new Hellraiser movie, Hellraiser Judgement.
And that's where our cat says, fuck y'all, I'm out of here.
Cat's like, I don't want to hear about this shit. So yeah, here we are. A couple nights ago, we decided, like, hey, you know what? Let's take a chance and watch Hellraiser Judgement. You know, I mean, we heard a lot about it and everything, and we decided, what the hell? I'll watch it. And after watching it, I made a little Facebook status about it, and wasn't gonna post about it, but after watching it, there was so much to process. In a couple days, decided, you know what? Let's just make this a fucking video. There's just too much for just typing in status, So another Hellraiser without Doug Bradley, as I said, and unlike what was the last movie, Revelations.
Hellraiser Revelations.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
that movie was a turd sandwich and a half. This one, from previews, it looks almost promising. The guy that they got to play the Hell Priest, Pinhead, whoever you like to call him. He looks kind of like a younger Doug Bradley. But Doug Bradley actually literally wanted nothing to do with this film. But we were like, you know what? Let's just see what he was talking about. And yeah. You want to tell them about the intro?
The intro starts out on a high note. Going into it, I'm going to say you'll probably have pretty high expectations, at least where gore and grotesque stuff is concerned, because the beginning of the film, I guess spoiler alert, kind of. It's kind of fucking gross. It's gross, it's bloody, it's gory. It's everything you could ever want from Clive Barker. If you love Clive Barker's writing style and you love his content, I do feel like the intro, the beginning of the movie, is a pretty good indicator of, Clive Barker's work. Fuck, dead air. I'm high. Why are you putting me on the spot? So, yeah, Clive. If anybody's read anything Clive Barker's ever written, he writes some shit.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen any other movies based off Clive Barker's work, his content. It's graphic. It's thought-provoking. It's violent. He's just one of those authors that make you feel something with what he writes. Whether that is elation or disgust, I don't know. But the intro of the movie, you go into it and you think it's going to be, because it does that. The intro of the movie sets the stage.
Yeah.
We've seen it with other movies or episodes of TV shows. You might like one season of American Horror Story, but not even be able to get into the next season because it's such a slow fucking starter. This didn't start that way. It was not a slow starter. They threw everything into the fucking blender and said, check this out, motherfuckers.
Literally, because there was all kinds of, blood and vomit. So it was nudity, blood,
S&M, torture, sex. Like it starts at like we're talking first 3 minutes of the film.
skin getting peeled off.
Yep, evisceration.
Yeah.
Like the way the movie began, you're like, holy shit.
You're like, all right, okay, this is going somewhere. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, it was like it kind of got you. I mean,
it certainly grabbed your fucking attention.
Yeah, definitely. You know, as far as like it kind of throws back to the '90s a little bit with when people weren't afraid of just like ridiculous nudity and gore at the same time. You know, but after that, that's actually the high point of the movie.
It kind of fizzles a little bit. I mean, the story. I will say this: the storyline. It's a good storyline up until the end, I think.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned earlier in the video, spoiler alert. There's going to be spoilers in this. We can't talk about this movie and everything in it, without unfortunately spoiling it. So
I might have put a spoiler thing in the beginning.
Yeah. But yeah, it's while I feel up until the end, and the climax too, is they're not the beginning of the movie. Let's put it this way: the intro is not an accurate representation of how the rest of the movie is going to go. The majority of the gore and gruesomeness you expect to see from a Hellraiser film happens right at the very beginning, and there's not a lot left after that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying gore necessarily makes a better film, but it's literally all in the very beginning. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet they fucking blew the budget on the first
You
scene.
could tell the first scene they blew all the budget on. Speaking of which, like getting to that point, I mean, really pretty much, I mean, besides the beginning, the rest of the movie was more like a fan-made video, I think. It was not, I mean, they, like I said, they blew all their budget apparently on that beginning scene. Mm-hmm. The rest of the movie was like a low-budget, fan-made film you would find on YouTube.
I wouldn't say a low-budget one, because even making those takes work.
Yeah.
Like, for example, there's, to veer off topic for a moment, you've seen it, there's a small series of shorts that tells like a little bit of a backstory about Freddy Krueger.
Oh yeah, those are good
those
too.
Those are so well done, but you can tell it's also done by a fan. Yeah. It's not done by an actual production company. So I feel like the way this movie was done was similar to that. I won't say that it was low budget, because it wasn't terribly shot. They used good lighting. Yeah. It was gritty. I like that, but yeah, it does look like a fan-made horror short.
And I mean, and you can forgive that, obviously, if
because some of those are fucking epic. If you go around YouTube and you watch these horror movie shorts, whether they're into like original ideas or they're fan videos for other franchises, there's some people who do some absolutely excellent fucking work, relying on very little, not much more than just good outside light, like shooting outdoors at the perfect time of day. Right. And that's so fucking hard to do, and that's a skill in and of itself.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, for I guess for the lack of budget that they had from that beginning, I mean,
they used it all in the first scene.
It still had, it was still promising. It showed. I mean, they were trying to take it places, So, I mean, the premise of the movie was that these two cops are like, they weren't actually brothers, they were like best friends.
I have no idea. I honestly missed that part. I was still reeling from the first scene because as much as it sucks that the budget was blown on that first fucking scene, goddamn, did it leave an impression.
Yeah.
I was still going, wow, that scene was something else. And I think that maybe that's one of the reasons why I missed that detail about the cop partners. I was waiting for something.
You're like, there was the rest of the movie? All I remember that first part.
Basically.
But yeah, there was these two cops. They're investigating, there's a serial killer everything.
Like something like similar to the Ten Commandments serial killer, like something like that.
Yeah. And then they had another female cop comes down who's helping them with the case, also keep an eye on one of the cops, who's one of the main characters. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you're a aficionado of the Hellraiser series, you'll remember a movie called Hellraiser Inferno. Started seeing a little bit of similarities. Cop looking for a serial killer. I mean, there are differences, obviously, but I mean, it started to kind of seemed a little bit familiar for a second, but okay. And it goes into that. Also, Heather Langenkamp was in this from Nightmare on Elm Street.
For like a split second.
They're promoting it like she had like a big role in it. This is one of the parts that pissed me off. Was like,
I was like, Nancy? Like I got so excited.
Ooh, she's gonna be a cop. Or like I was like, ooh, Heather Langenkamp's gonna be a Cenobite. Fuck yeah! I'm ready for that. I'm like hyped up.
I don't think they would have taken it that far.
I would have been.
A cop, absolutely. I could have seen her as one of the police officers, but I would not peg Heather Langenkamp as the goddamn Cenobite.
Would you want to see what she looked like a Cenobite?
No. I think Heather Langenkamp was great in Nightmare on Elm Street, like all three of the ones that she was in.
Right.
But I don't know. She doesn't. She has like this softness and this vulnerability to her. Like she's very human in the way she acts.
Right.
You can't be, which is why Doug Bradley did such an incredible job when he was doing it, because he was purely, at least for the first two, he was emotionless and was just like, I'm here to do my fucking job, like
yeah,
just very matter of fact. And that's what Cenobites are. They're very matter of fact. They're cruel. She's like someone's mom. She isn't cruel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think she would do very well as a Cenobite.
I mean, either way, she wasn't a Cenobite anyway. She didn't have a major role. What was she?
She was like this scummy landlady. With like a bad dye job and really, really heavily outlined lips.
And how long was her scene?
Less than a minute.
It was
less than
maybe 30 seconds.
Maybe.
They advertised her being in this movie like it's a big deal.
Because that'll get people to watch it, though.
So basically, her name is what carried this, I guess, in a sense.
I don't know if that's the case or not, but like I literally haven't seen anything about that.
I know I've seen a few, like a couple. Like a couple people talk about like maybe get by Heather Langenkamp and like ooh, and I'm like okay.
The only thing I saw people talking about was how closely related the movie storyline is to. Not necessarily Hellbound Heart, the book, or the rest of the movies, but the comic book series based off Pinhead and other Cenobites. And it's a different headcanon and a different backstory.
Which also I thought was awesome as well. It's like, okay,
Because there's characters in this that spoiler alert,
this whole video is a spoiler.
Yeah, there's a character, I'm not going to give away, like, the scene, but there's a character that she is supposed to be, like, the physical kind of embodiment of an archangel of some kind, and she's just some, like, tall Norwegian chick with blonde hair and a leather suit. Like, she looks like she could have been an extra in an orgy music video back in the day. Like, and I'm like, well, okay, now... like, I don't think she needs to be here.
Right. Like, yeah, her part was a little confusing.
Like, if they had introduced, say, another female Cenobite character, maybe the one, like the princess we saw in the older films, or even, and you don't know much about her, but Lucidique. She was a female Cenobite in the comic book, like, Hellraiser universe. So, seeing Lucidique would have been fucking fantastic.
We need to just get those comics.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, but they were trying to do this, like, good versus evil thing, and they were trying to say, like, once Pinhead got a hold of the actual serial killer that everybody was trying to find, the angel's like, nah, send him back. He's he takes care of the bigger monsters, kind of thing. So it's like God's messenger telling, but Pinhead isn't the devil. That's what I don't get about how they took that approach. It was like, Pinhead isn't Satan. So, like, it was like, they did, like, this weird, like, battle between good and evil over souls kind of thing, and I don't like that they tried to add a biblical aspect to the story, because, to the best of my knowledge, there was no religion shit attached to hell for, in that universe, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not entirely sure what a fucking archangel has to do with anything. Like, I feel like it was an unnecessary addition to an already pretty kick-ass story.
Yeah. I feel like they were trying to do something, but it kind of like got lost in translation a little bit.
Yeah. Or it was just a bad idea.
Or it was just a bad idea.
It just wasn't a good idea.